A loud bang echoes through the gorilla area like thunder. A massive silverback slams his fists on the ground, breathing hard, staring at something beyond the fence. Zoo staff freeze in place. Visitors back away. Children begin to cry. He strikes again, making the glass tremble. Among all the chaos, a little child stands alone, palm pressed to the barrier, looking directly at the gorilla. The gorilla is called Bongo, a 600-pound giant full of power and painful memories. Most days, Bongo remains calm and peaceful, content to rest beneath trees while eating fruit and watching leaves. But right now, he's like a storm. Sarah, an experienced animal caretaker, receives the radio message. Emergency at gorilla exhibit. Animal behaving oddly, could be dangerous. She's already racing across the walkway before the message ends. When she arrives, Bongo is pacing rapidly, agitated. He's not performing, he's hunting, gazing through the glass toward the open area past the barrier. Something is deeply troubling him. Crowds gather around, parents calling their kids, guides trying to maintain order, but one small boy, about 4 years old, has stepped closer once more. His tiny hands grip the metal rail just as Bongo stops completely. The gorilla's nostrils flare, his eyes widen, then he charges forward. The impact rattles the fence so violently that a metal section breaks free and crashes to the ground. The boy doesn't weep or run. He simply stares up at the enormous creature just inches away. Bongo doesn't strike the fence again. He retreats slowly, his chest rising and falling like heavy drum beats. Sarah steps between the child and the glass, lifting him gently. "Where are your parents, honey?" she asks softly, her pulse still racing. The boy stays silent. He's never done that before, a junior staff member says. Bongo has never even fake-charged visitors. Another worker, hands trembling, prepares a tranquilizer dart. Maybe he's stressed out. We should examine him earlier than scheduled. But Sarah disagrees. No, he wasn't watching the boy. He was looking past him. She turns and traces where Bongo was staring across the lawn, up the slope beyond the fence. The branches sway softly in the breeze, but nothing else moves. Yet something feels off to her. Bongo appeared frightened. Visitors begin leaving. The boy's teacher rushes over, panicked and apologizing repeatedly. "I only turned away for a second," she says. Bongo remains still. He's crouched low now, as if listening for something. His hands dig into the earth. His gaze stays fixed on that slope. Sarah checks her watch, 9:46 in the morning. A slight tremor passes beneath her feet, so faint most wouldn't feel it. But Bongo senses it. His head jerks up, his chest swells again, then he makes a deep noise, low and extended, resonating through his space like a siren. No one grasps what's happening. Sarah holds her breath. This isn't rage, it's a warning, and no one is listening. The control room stays quiet except for rewinding video sounds and monitor screens jumping backwards. Sarah hunches over the equipment, reviewing the footage. "Right there," she says. "Freeze it." The image shows Bongo just before he rushed the glass, but he's not watching the boy. His head is tilted up toward the hill behind the viewing area. Another worker peers at the screen. Maybe it was just a bird. Sarah doesn't answer. A voice crackles through the radio. "Unusual behavior confirmed. DART team stand by." She studies the screen, dread building like a gathering storm. Bongo is now pressed against the rear wall of his enclosure, not cowering but observing, panting heavily. His fists clench and unclench with mounting stress. A low growling emerges from his throat. Outside, fewer visitors remain, but some families linger near the edge, speaking quietly. Kids point at the broken railing piece. Security sets up barriers around the space, but people stay curious despite their fear. "He's just defending his territory," an administrator says dismissively, focused on his device. Too many children this week. The commotion and crowds are stressing him out. Sarah cuts him off. He's not stressed. He's watchful. There's a difference. No one pays attention to her. They open Bongo's records on the tablet. A brief note is buried in a report from 4 years back. Survived hillside collapse in Cabal. Displayed extreme anxiety days beforehand. She stares at it, her heart jumping. Bongo's original keepers called it mere coincidence. He had grown restless the week before the collapse. When the landslide struck, his troops scattered. Only he survived, was rescued days afterward, and relocated to safety. But what if it wasn't coincidence? Sarah digs deeper into the electronic records, her hands shaking on the display. Hidden in the attachment section, she discovers something that chills her. A photo from the rescue location. Bongo, younger, thinner, mud-covered, but definitely him. And next to him, gripping his huge arm, a tiny gorilla baby. The date stamp shows 4 years ago. The same age as the boy outside. She reads the worn field notes with the picture. Adult male discovered protecting baby around 18 months old. Baby seemed unhurt, but badly shocked. Male became very upset when separated for medical care. Baby died during transport 3 days later, despite male's protective actions during collapse. The tablet falls from her grip, screen shattering on the floor. The noise rings through the control room, but Sarah doesn't notice. She's staring at the broken image below. Bongo's eyes in that photo hold the same desperate look she witnessed today. The same protective rage, the same understanding. Outside, another tremor occurs, somewhat stronger now, enough to shake some glass. People notice it, some quick glances, a shift in mood. Sarah grabs the tablet, ignoring the web of cracks covering the screen. The photo remains visible through the damaged surface. Bongo and his lost baby, captured forever. A father who failed to save his child. Oh no, she breathes. He believes it's happening again. She races to the main office, the tablet pressed to her chest like proof of guilt. We must evacuate everyone from the gorilla area immediately. People frown and shrug politely at her demand. Do you expect us to empty a visitor area because of a gorilla's emotions? The supervisor asks coldly. Sarah raises the cracked tablet, the image still glowing through the broken screen. No, she answers strongly, her voice cracking under the burden of realization. I want you to believe the only living being here who has already lost everything, attempting to save a child once. Meanwhile, outside, Bongo begins pacing again, but now he's not staying in his area. He's exploring the boundaries, sniffing the dirt near the back corner, clawing the wall, circling with his head lowered. But now Sarah realizes he's not simply upset. He's experiencing the worst day of his life again, watching history about to repeat. A child's voice calls out above the noise. Mommy, he's trying to escape. The mother shushes him, glancing nervously at the workers. One trainee radios the group. He's at the weak section. The barrier there is lower and older, not designed for this kind of pressure. And Bongo is preparing, muscles tensed, feet set, one hand on the wall. Every fiber in his body remembers the burden of defeat. The instant he wasn't quick enough, wasn't powerful enough to rescue his own. Sarah rushes from the office just in time to hear the snap. A harsh, terrible snap. Dust explodes upward, metal fragments drop, concrete crumbles. Bongo is already in motion, breaking free. People begin shrieking. A child drops his beverage. A stroller falls over, but Bongo doesn't hurt them. He spins and runs, not fleeing from people but racing toward the hill. This time, he won't be too slow. Sorry for the interruption. Before we continue with the story, I kindly ask you to like the video and subscribe to this channel It is very important for us. Thank you very much." Loud cries fill the air. Bongo races through the broken barrier, moving like lightning with powerful muscles. Parents grab hold of their kids. People visiting run for safety. Security guards frantically talk on their radios with worried voices. "He got out. Get everyone away from the front. Which way is he heading?" Sarah stays put instead of running. She keeps watching. Each move Bongo makes looks planned and focused. His gaze fixed not on the frightened crowd but on one particular place up the hillside, right where people stand to look down meets the slanted ground. That's when she spots him. The same boy from earlier, standing by himself again, lost in all the confusion, walking back toward the barrier, tiny hand stretching toward the fence, not watching where he's going. Inside Bongo's head, what happened before mixes with what's happening now, the same little hand reaching out, the same trusting look, the same precious, delicate life about to be taken by the angry earth. But now, right now, he is near enough. Right now, he won't just stand there helpless while the ground eats up innocence. Bongo makes a loud, deep sound, not crazy, not mean, but desperate. A dad's call reaching across years and distance. He steps forward. A quiet moment, then he runs straight at the kid. Everyone stops moving. People hold their breath. A teacher shouts. A mom drops down hard on her knees. Bongo closes the gap in just seconds, dirt kicking up behind his big feet. The boy spins around, eyes huge, moving too slowly to get away. Bongo leaps ahead. Massive arms reach out, but they don't strike. He uses his entire body to hit the child, sending him flying backward like a small toy. The boy falls down, rolls one time on the hard ground, and away from harm. That's the exact moment when the earth gives way. The edge where he was standing splits wide apart, breaking into a huge crack. The wooden barrier bends and vanishes. Dirt slides down in heavy chunks, dragging benches, rails, and pieces of stone into the pit. A wall of dust bursts up, covering everything in a brown fog, then stillness. No noise, no walking, no shouting, just a soft, weird quiet. The dust slowly clears. People cough, eyes big, faces pale with fear. The boy gets up first, sobbing, cut up but fine. Bongo lies close by, breathing rough, chest moving like a big drum, arms stretched out in the mud. He stays still. 4 years of feeling bad flows out of him in shaky breaths. This time, the kid survives. This time, he moved quick enough. Sarah rushes to him, not listening to people saying to hold back, to keep away. She falls down on her knees beside his enormous body, the cracked tablet still gripped in her hands. The damaged screen displays the picture, Bongo and his dead baby, and she realizes she's seeing not just bravery but making things right. He's not injured. He's still staring at the broken edge like he thinks more might fall. But there's something changed in his look now. The frantic anger is gone, switched out for something calmer, stronger. Calm. People begin coming closer, not able to talk. Some bend down, some just look. One guy sits down and starts crying. He rescued him, someone finally says quietly. He knew what would happen. But Sarah knows more than that. She knows that Bongo didn't just know what would happen. He remembered how it hurt to fail, and he decided to change that story. Rescue workers show up. Experts check the ground. This hill's been shaky for weeks, one explains. He probably felt the shaking before we saw it. A zoo worker shakes her head. He was trying to tell us something. The recording plays over and over, Bongo jumping ahead, shoving the boy to safety as ground falls apart. Piece by piece, everyone watches a beast turn into a guardian. But Sarah sees something different. A father getting his second try and grabbing it without waiting. Doctors look at the boy, mixed up, messy, crying, but breathing. A teacher holds him softly. "You're okay. she says again and again. Everyone stares at Bongo. He sits at the Broken Edge's side, not moving, arms still stretched from his jump, chest going up and down hard. For the first time in 4 years, the heavy feeling on his back has gone away. Sarah comes near. She moves carefully, hand raised, not because she's scared, but because she respects him. He doesn't back away. Instead, Bongo looks up. Their eyes connect, and for the first time today, he closes his eyes and opens them. Behind them, the zoo boss stands frozen, radio in one hand, sleepy shot in the other. "We almost hurt him," he says. "No," Sarah answers, voice firm, holding tight to the tablet with its broken proof. "You almost stopped the only one who really knew what losing something costs." A recording spreads everywhere. Big Ape rescues kid from falling ground. Bongo covers a boy with his body, making warning sounds, not angry ones. Sarah looks at the video next to a broken tablet showing another picture. A child he couldn't rescue. "He tried to warn us," she says quietly. When the leaders want Bongo moved somewhere else, Sarah cuts in. "He put everything at risk because he understood losing someone. Do prisons reward him for caring?" They choose to let him stay, respected, not locked up. A memory spot shows Bongo with his lost baby. The saved boy comes back with a clay ape. Bongo puts his hand on the glass. The boy copies him. Hand to hand in thanks, not fear. The broken platform turns into a special place with flowers and pictures. Sarah gets it. He acted like a dad getting another chance. Bongo rests under his tree, still looking at the hill. This time, he was quick enough. Zoo visits include his story now. Kids learn his sounds were love, refusing to lose again. One note says, "He didn't need to speak, but we finally heard him." In the soft evening light, Bongo sits like a living reminder of second chances. Sometimes being wild isn't about running away. It's about fixing your own hurt heart. Did you like this story? If you were Sarah, would you have listened to Bongo's warning or ignored it like the others? Tell us in the comments. If you like the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Sometimes those who've been through the hardest times see danger before anyone else, and we should listen. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Have a great day.